When is the California Legislature permitted to meet in closed session? With the voters' adoption of Prop 54 at the November 26th general election, there are greater sunshine rules for legislative proceedings in the California state legislature. Nonetheless, our state constitution does provide a number of instances in which the legislature can and does meet in closed session. In Article 4, Section 7C, there are specified instances, despite notwithstanding other open meeting provisions, in which closed sessions may be held by the legislature. The limitation is that these closed sessions may be held solely for one or more of the specified reasons. So, what are those reasons? The legislature is permitted to meet in closed session for these five specified reasons. One, to consider the appointment, employment, evaluation of performance, or dismissal of a public officer or employee. Two, to consider or hear complaints or charges brought against a member of the legislature or other public officer or employee. Third, to establish the classification or compensation of an employee of the legislature. Fourth, to consider matters affecting the safety and security of members of the legislature or its employees, or the safety and security of any buildings and grounds used by the legislature. And fifth, to confer with or receive advice from its legal counsel regarding pending or reasonably anticipated, or whether even to initiate litigation when discussion in open session would not protect the interests of the House or a committee regarding that litigation. These authorized closed sessions are similar to exceptions allowed with other public bodies at the local and federal levels. The legislature, of course, is required to provide to the public reasonable notice of when the closed session is being held and when, and the purpose of that closed session. In addition, note that a caucus of the members of the Senate, the members of the Assembly, or the members of both houses, which of course is composed of the members of the same political party, are also authorized under the Constitution to meet in closed session. And this is the most common use of an authorized closed session in the California legislature. Generally, during the legislative session, Democratic and Republican legislators in both the Assembly and the Senate meet on Tuesdays for lunch, and then sometimes off the floor of the legislature when they are conducting a floor session. They're also used from time to time in these instances to talk about bills or legislation or other issues pending before the Assembly or the Senate.